This is one of the most important flamethrower videos that I'll ever make for Deep Rock Galactic. The flamethrower is probably the best primary weapon Driller has at wave clear. There's one build in particular that clears a wave of bugs better than the Cryo cannon and the Sludge pump combined. But the overclocks you get are entirely random and you can only get so many each week. For those of you still collecting them all, you might not have the best overclocks yet. That's why in this video, I want to rank all of the flamethrower's overclocks to show you whether the ones you have are good, bad, or better than nothing. I'm also going to show what build you should run for each overclock. You'll know what overclocks to use, what to look for, what to avoid, and how to best use them once you have them. First is the lighter tank's clean overclock. It's really as simple as it comes, offering 75 more fuel. The lighter tank's build I recommend is mostly for wave clear, but it's also strong against high priority threats like menace and oppressors. In tier 1, we want to use high pressure ejector. This increases the flamethrower's flame by 5 meters. For wave clear, we want to reach those bugs in the back of a group before they even get close. It's also just really nice torching those pesky spitters and menace that play at range. In tier 2, we want sticky flame duration. The sticky flame that's left in the ground lasts for another 3 seconds. Sticky flames will get you a lot of kills. When you use the flamethrower, aim low enough so the flame hits the bug and it also touches the ground. If the flame never touches the ground, you won't get any sticky flames. Sticky flames add even more damage over time on top of the direct flame from the flamethrower. What makes sticky flames insane for wave clear is tier 3. Sticky flame slowdown slows bugs down by 55%. When they move slower, it takes them longer to get out of the sticky flame. Since the sticky flame does damage over time, the bug basically kills itself inside the fire. We can even take this another step further in tier 4. In tier 4, I love It Burns. This procs the fear status effect on bugs, which pairs perfectly with slow effects. Fear causes the bug to flee away from whatever proc the status, that means you. It'll keep running away from you until it's exactly 10 meters away, and under fear, the bug cannot attack. Literally, all it can do is run in a straight path away from you. Because of the sticky flame slowdown, it moves slower and it'll take it longer to reach that 10 meters. With this build, bugs can attack, they get slowed, and they kill themselves with the flame. In tier 5, I really like targets explode with the further flame reach. You could also go heat radiance instead. Bugs will burn and ignite on fire faster. While on fire, another damage over time is added to all of the other damage this build does. Whichever one you decide comes down to your personal preference. For the lighter tank's overclock, I rate this as better than nothing. All it really does is just add some extra ammo. The second clean overclock on the flamethrower is sticky additive. It increases your damage by 10%. It also increases the sticky flame's duration by 1 second. Sticky flame is that extra flame on the ground that deals more damage over time when bugs walk through it. With sticky additive, we're building for damage to kill bugs as quickly as possible. In tier 1, we're going high pressure ejector. Further flame reach means more bugs we cook at the same time. Who needs a larger tank if bugs die first? In tier 2, we want unfiltered fuel for more damage. This is a straight 36% damage buff to the flamethrower's direct flame, not the sticky flame that gets left on the ground, just the flame stream from the flamethrower. In tier 3, we're going oversized valves to increase the flow rate. Flow rate controls how much ammo and damage is pumped out each second. Higher flow rate, higher damage per second. Makes sense for a more single target, damage focused build, right? In tier 4, I like more fuel the most. It gives 25% more max ammo, which is great for newer players that take longer to call down resupply pods. You also go through ammo faster because of oversized valves, so extra fuel is great in this build. Finally, in tier 5, I love targets explode on a direct damage build. If the direct flame you shoot from the flamethrower kills a bug, there's a 50% chance that the bug will explode. This explosion does small AoE damage to nearby enemies. This whole build is one of the best for beginners because of how simple it is. Just point yourself in the direction of a swarm and let the flame do the rest. I'm going to rate the sticky additive overclock as good, but good for beginners. There's an even better damage overclock build later in this video. Moving to the balance overclocks, the first one is compact feed valves. This overclock increases the flamethrower's tank size by 25, which is a huge 50% buff. It also adds 75 ammo to your max fuel, just like the lighter tank's clean overclock does. The trade-offs are the flame reach is 2 meters less, and the flamethrower takes 0.2 seconds longer to reload. For compact feed valves, we're going for a hybrid wave clear single target build. In tier 1, we want high pressure ejector to give us that flame reach we lose to the overclock. We're already getting a higher tank size from compact feed valves. Even more is overkill and not as good as longer flames. In tier 2, we're going unfiltered fuel for 36% more damage. Combined with the larger tank size from the overclock, you'll get some nice damage per second for high priority bugs. If you wanted to focus more on wave clear, go sticky flame duration instead. In tier 3, sticky flame slowdown is where the wave clear for this build comes from. It slows bugs down so they stand in the sticky flame on the ground longer. It's a great crowd control option for clearing a swarm of enemies that just spawned. In tier 4, we're going with It Burns. This makes sticky flame slowdown slowdown stronger so you can kill bugs faster and protect your team from getting attacked. We don't need more fuel, and It Burns is too good at crowd control. In tier 5, you can pick between Heat Radiance or Targets Explode. Targets Explode is nice for wave clear, but doesn't work if you're getting sticky flame kills. Heat Radiance is always working. Out of the two, go Heat Radiance if you don't have a preference either way. This build is a jack of all trades, but a master of none. This doesn't make it bad by any means. You can just find a build that's more tailored to your playstyle or the mission that you're running. I'm going to rank the compact feed valves overclock as better than nothing. It'll get any job done, but it stands too much in the middle to be good at anything in particular. The final balanced overclock before we get into the unstable ones is Fuel Stream Diffuser. This overclock is basically the opposite of compact feed valves. Instead of decreasing your flame reach, this increases it by 5 meters. The downside is the flow rate is slower. The flow rate on the flamethrower and the cryo cannon is the speed that fire or ice comes out of the weapon. Basically, a higher flow rate means more fuel gets used per second and damage ticks faster. When the flow rate is lower, less fuel gets used and damage ticks slower. Fuel Stream Diffuser overclock increases your flame reach by 50%, but lowers your total DPS by 20%. In tier 1, we're going high capacity tanks for more ammo in the tank. An even longer flame reach is a little overkill with this overclock. In tier 2, we want sticky flame duration for longer lasting sticky flames. Unfiltered fuel sounds like an obvious choice. It adds 36% more damage to each flame tick. The problem is that with the slower flow rate, there's less ticks per second. Damage is higher, but that damage comes out slowly. We want to lean into sticky flames with this build. That's why in tier 3, we're going with sticky flame slowdown. Bugs get slow when they walk through the sticky flame. The sticky flame lasts longer because of tier 2, so bugs take even more damage over time. Combined with It Burns in tier 4, bugs get cooked by the sticky flames on the ground. The fear from It Burns will make bugs run away from you and your team. No one will take any damage from bugs for a couple seconds while they're feared. When they aggro you again, they walk through the sticky flames again, and then they die to all of this damage that's stacking up over time. In tier 5, since we're focused on sticky flames, go with Heat Radiance. Targets Explode doesn't work with sticky flames, it only procs from the direct flame from the flamethrower. Heat Radiance will set bugs on fire faster, which is a separate damage over time. Aim the flamethrower's flame so it hits the legs of the bug and the ground. You get the damage from the direct flame. You also get the damage over time from the sticky flame at the bug's feet, and you also add on the damage over time when the bug is on fire. I'm going to rate this Fuel Stream Diffuser as bad though. All it's doing is increasing your flame reach. You can get that from the tier 1 mod and be all set. The downside is you lose about 20% of your total DPS. It's just a little too high of a price to pay for such a small upgrade in my opinion. The first unstable overclock is Face Melter, which focuses on raw direct damage. Damage and fuel rate are increased in exchange for a shorter flame reach and smaller tank size. Face Melter buffs damage by about 36% and buffs flow rate by 30%. Again, a higher flow rate means damage ticks faster each second. The increased damage from Face Melter means each damage tick is higher. Basically, your damage per second is about 53% higher with Face Melter. In exchange for 53% more DPS, flame reach and tank size are decreased by 30%. As far as unstable overclocks go in Deep Rock Galactic, Face Melter is honestly pretty well balanced. For this build, we're going all in on single target direct damage. We want to kill every bug touched by the flame as quickly as possible. In tier 1, I really like high capacity tanks to cancel out the loss in tank size from the overclock. Without the extra ammo in the tank, you're reloading a little bit too much than I'd like to. If you're fine with that reload though, you can definitely go high pressure ejector instead. In tier 2, go unfiltered fuel for more damage. That's Face Melter's main focus, and we're going to build around that specialty. For more damage per second, go oversized valves in tier 3. The faster flow rate means more damage ticks happen each second. Face Melter and unfiltered fuel together make each of those damage ticks 72% stronger. Everything so far is all about that sweet, sweet damage. In tier 4, nothing really helps with damage. This build guzzles fuel faster than a Hummer though. The last thing we want to happen in a mission is to run out of ammo. Go more fuel for 25% more max ammo and that won't happen. In tier 5, we want Heat Radiance. This sets bugs on fire faster, which in a way is like increasing damage. Making things on fire faster is incredibly powerful for machine enemies. Most of them instantly die once they're on fire, no matter how much health that they still have. With this Face Melter build, you will carry industrial sabotage missions. The Face Melter overclock is probably the second best flamethrower overclock. It really shines in industrial sabotage because you can instantly kill machines that are within your reach. This build has saved many industrial sabotages where I was the last one alive. Lastly is Sticky Fuel and Unstable Overclock. It increases the damage and the duration of the sticky flame on the flamethrower. In exchange, tank size and max fuel are lower. The sticky flame damage per second is buffed by 33% and the sticky flame duration is increased by 300%. Tank size is reduced by 50% and max fuel is decreased by 25%. 5%. Sticky fuel is the best flamethrower overclock at wave clear in my opinion. In tier 1, we want high pressure ejectors so we can fry every bug in a swarm. With the sticky fuel overclock, the goal is to drop lines of sticky flame everywhere. The goal is for bugs to be constantly walking through the sticky flames. They should die before they even get close. In tier 2, sticky flame duration helps by increasing how long sticky flames last. With this full build, drop half a tank of ammo everywhere. Bugs will kill themselves walking through it while you do something else. In tier 3, the crown jewel is sticky flame slowdown. Bugs get slowed and take more damage while being in fire longer. The sticky flames last 11 seconds with this whole build. That's plenty of time for them to burn themselves alive. What makes this wave clear build even better is it burns in tier 4. This mod makes sticky flame slowdowns stronger. Combined, bugs are unable to attack or aggro anyone. Everything about this build is about making swarms little to no threat to anyone on your team. In tier 5, go heat radiance for more damage over time. This sets bugs on fire faster. On fire is its own status effect that does a little bit more damage each second. With this build, bugs are damaged by on fire, sticky flames, direct flames, and sticky flames again because of it burns. This is the best flamethrower build in Deep Rock Galactic for wave clear. You definitely need to get the sticky fuel overclock. This is the best flamethrower overclock in my opinion. You get so much wave clear out of this build that it really makes you reconsider ever using the cryo cannon or the sludge pump again. Definitely look out for this overclock if you don't have it yet. I hope this video helps you build with the overclocks that you currently have. Let me know what overclock you're hoping the game will give you next. What flamethrower overclocks have you been using already? Check out my Patreon where you can get a ton of extra content that helps you enjoy Deep Rock Galactic more. You get early access and exclusive content for the same price as a Twitch sub. If you want more content, there's more for you to have. All of my best content will always be free here though, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.